Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Home Cook Hero, back with a new video, y'all. And today I'm making some grown-up cheesy baked beefaroni. This is definitely not your Chef Boyardee's little canned beefaroni stuff. This beefaroni is good, and you know everything that's all up in there. So, y'all, if you are into it, sit back and let's go. Alright, y'all, so now I'm just going to start off by just boiling off the macaroni. So I just put in a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of salt, and I also went in with this Better Than Bouillon beef base. Just because, I mean, it's beefaroni, and, you know, why not just impart some of that beef flavor into the noodles. So that's pretty much what I did. Followed the packaging instructions, minus about 3 to 4 minutes, because it's going to cook for the most part, or for the rest of the way when we're baking it in the oven. So yeah, that's pretty much what I did. Not too complicated, and then I just set the macaroni aside after I drained it. So now on to the ground beef. I have about 1.5 pounds of ground beef that I'm just placing into my pot, and I'm just gonna simmer it off a little bit just so I can drain off a lot of those juices that are gonna come out. And I don't have any oil or anything like that in the pan right now because, like I said, again, I'm just gonna be draining off all of that liquid, and so I don't need to add anything extra into it. So now that I drained the ground beef, it's looking like this right here. I'm just chopping it up a little bit more, but now we can really start to add a lot of the flavorings and impart a lot of the flavor that we want to have in the final dish. So I'm going in with a little bit of that Better Than Bouillon beef base, about a teaspoon of it. I'm going in with some tomato paste, about a tablespoon of that tomato paste, and then I'm just going to start stirring everything together just to make sure those two ingredients are combined thoroughly into the ground beef before I really start to add a lot of the other veggies and stuff like that into it. So first, I'm going in with some diced white onion. That's about 1/2 of a diced white onion, and you don't really need to go too heavy with that. That might be more than you prefer, but y'all know I like onions. And I'm going in with some red bell pepper. That's 1 whole red bell pepper, just diced up roughly. Going with some basil and oregano, about a tablespoon of basil and a teaspoon of the oregano. I like both of those two flavors together. You know, do what you want to do. You can add whatever flavors or spices you want. You can add fennel, you can add sage, whatever you want to. And then I went in with about 5 to 6 cloves of minced garlic, fresh. I went in with a little bit of olive oil, and then I also went in with a little bit of salt and pepper. And then y'all just want to mix that up thoroughly, make sure it's all thoroughly combined, and then you can just put the lid on it and just let it cook off for a little bit. Now I'm using 2 blocks of this Colby Jack and Monterey cheese. I like to grate it fresh because it just I prefer it in this kind of dish. And so altogether that's 16 ounces or a pound of that cheese. And now after the meat has cooked a little bit, I'm just going in with 2 28 ounce cans of crushed tomatoes. Whatever brand you prefer, go with that. And so yeah, like I said, I've added in both of those cans, and then after that I'm going to add a little bit more flavorings just to bring that tomato sauce to life. So I'm adding a little bit of pepper, I added in a little bit of salt off camera, and that's also a little bit more basil that I'm adding in. If you can't tell, I love dry basil. I love fresh basil too. Check out my zucchini and summer squash casserole dish thing, and I have a lot of fresh basil on that. It's really good as well. Anyway, y'all, I'm just stirring all that up thoroughly to make sure it's combined. Put the lid on and let it cook on medium heat for about 10 minutes or so, just so those flavors can really start to marry together. But again, we're going to cook this in the oven for about 20 minutes or so, so all of those flavors are really going to come together perfectly when it's in the oven. But yeah, this is pretty much what it should look like right now. I'm going in with a little bit of those Thai chilies that y'all know I love. Y'all know I like my stuff spicy. I'm going in with a little bit of fresh parsley because why not? You know, throw some green up in there. And then y'all, I'm going in with all of that macaroni that we cooked off earlier. Then once that's all in there, then we can go in with that cheese. So I used about 3/4 of the cheese on the inside or within the actual beefaroni, as you'll see right here. And then, you know, just add a little bit at a time. I did it just a little bit at a time because I didn't want stuff to start flying all over the place. But yeah, you know, add about 3/4 of the cheese into the mixture right here, and we're gonna just save the rest for the top of it after we take it out of the oven. And then I'm going in with the last final little touches, y'all. Some more crushed red pepper. I'm adding in a little bit more salt because we added the macaroni in there now, and so, you know, we need to kind of flavor that up a little bit too. There's nothing worse than just some bland food. Okay, y'all, so please make sure you season it. But y'all, I'm just mixing everything up together to make sure it's all thoroughly combined. And then after that, I'm just gonna spray my little casserole dish, and then I'm just gonna pour that beefaroni mixture all inside the casserole dish. Look at how this looks. I mean, you could really just eat it like this right here, honestly. When, you know, I feel like everybody's had beefaroni, like when you were a little kid. You know, everybody has had beefaroni before. So you can definitely eat it just like that. But I like to bake it to kind of like amp it up a little bit, make the top real cheesy. And yeah, y'all, that's what I'm gonna do right this second. So I'm gonna smooth it out first, and then just put the cheese on right on the top of it, y'all. Then you wanna place it in a 375 degrees oven for about 20 minutes or so until the cheese is nice and melty and nice and bubbly. And I'll be right back in a second when I take it out the oven. All right, y'all, look at this beefaroni. This is definitely not your Chef Boyardee's. This is grown up. This is adult beefaroni. This is good beefaroni. But yeah, y'all, this is just a little shot of what it's looking like. Of course, I had to add that little bit of parsley on the top, y'all. And then I have to show y'all me pulling out that beefaroni. Y'all, it's so cheesy. It's so good. The steam's coming all out. It's so flavorful and so beefy. Y'all, if you enjoyed this recipe, definitely let me know down below. Hit that like button, and you can even subscribe to the channel, y'all, for more videos just like this. All right, y'all, I will see y'all in the next one. Later.